Everyone, I'm Lily. Today I will be discussing William Barnhouse's case. The case happened in Muncie, Indiana on April 21, 1992. The victim was raped behind a vacant building. Then, the police followed her descriptions at the crime scene and found William Barnhouse. After the evidence was collected and sent to the State Police Crime Laboratory, the blood analysis indicated that Barnhouse's DNA profile matched the vaginal swab obtained from the victim. In addition, a hair found on the victim was confirmed by the hair analyst that it was from Barnhouse. As a result, on December 15, 1992, Barnhouse was convicted of the rape and sentenced to 80 years in prison. But this is not true. William Barnhouse was proved that he was innocent after 20 years. So, why did these wrongful convictions happen? First, the forensic scientists supposed to be expert witnesses who provided their knowledge to present accurate reports and conclusions. They also had ethical obligation to know the limitations of their expertise and evidence, but they didn't. In addition, the investigations by the FBI shows the improper training from the FBI and the techniques used for the hair comparisons were not reliable to be presented in court. Likewise, although the DNA evidence from the victim matched Barnhouse's profile, it doesn't mean Barnhouse was the only source. Also, there was no opposing view when presenting reports of the evidence in the court. The repeated DNA tests showed that Barnhouse's DNA was excluded. These truths indicate the incompetence and misapplication from the forensic scientists. Therefore, the judge and jury were misled by forensic scientists' false testimonies based on their expectations of the forensic scientists' expertise. Second, the police arrested the suspect immediately based on the victim's descriptions in order to protect the public safety and maintain the order. Pressure from the public might also have accelerated the action to catch the suspect. Next, instead of only declaring Barnhouse didn't do anything, the defense said the suspect had suffered from mental illness in his entire life. Lastly, there was nothing to prove the victim's mental condition when reporting the suspect. Therefore, she might not have been able to identify the suspect accurately and even memorize the suspect's appearance. Let's look at unethical behaviors behind the case. According to Bowen, the criteria for being an expertise witness includes having specialized training, skills, professional certifications, and education or knowledge from the specialty area and disciplines. The criteria indicate that the actions from the hair analyst and the blood analyst are unethical. They didn't have the capabilities to provide accurate conclusions, which result in the judge and the jury's incorrect impressions and false judgments. In addition, if an expert witness doesn't meet these criteria, could he or she be an expert witness and provide professional opinions in courtrooms? Next, based on hair comparisons cases analysis by FBI agents prior to 2000, it shows there were more than 90% of cases contained erroneous statements existing in either in the testimony or reports. Why did they only check cases prior to 2000? The only reason is that the mitochondrial DNA testing on hair has become routine at the FBI since 2000. Therefore, it is evident that if there is an adequate examination, such as the microscopic hair comparisons along with the mitochondrial DNA testing, would this error have been avoided? Would this hair evidence then support the defense? Similarly, what was the role of the DNA evidence in this case? One significant question is why a blood analyst was assigned to analyze the DNA evidence. The police should have considered asking a DNA analyst who is able to provide professional knowledge and experiences to analyze the DNA from the biological evidence. In addition, how reliable could the DNA sample have been? According to the article Misapplication of Forensic Science, it directly indicates that misapplication is the second most common contributing factor to wrongful convictions, found 45% of DNA exoneration cases. This article brings up the issue of overstating the significance of similarities between known and unknown samples, or in other words, does the reality of known and unknown sample imply the known sample has the same source as the unknown evidence? Furthermore, the report should have been deemed unreliable and not used for testimony due to the lack of second reviews. The realistic issue which is involved in this case is that forensic scientists could be sued if they report the wrong results. What would be the devil's advocate in this case? Trial judge should not only focus on the conclusions of reports, but instead they should also focus on the experts and the reliability of the evidence. Likewise, testimony experts have to provide their scientific knowledge and methodology to justify their testimony. Then, is their evidence strong enough to be used in courtrooms? There are three limitations. First, her evidence should have enough control on known samples for comparisons. However, it is difficult to collect the appropriate numbers of samples. Second, based on features of hair, the opinions from examiners are likely to be subjective, even though there are standard guidelines provided. Third, the discipline has a lack of statistical fundamentals. Also, the conclusions of reports are limited. On the other hand, can DNA evidence be more reliable in courtrooms? Compared to hair and other evidence, although DNA has relatively smaller chances of errors, it doesn't mean there's a zero error in DNA analysis. Lastly, from the article 10 Factors to Bar Wrongful Convictions by Gold, forensic errors and weak evidence by the prosecution and factors that lead to the miscarriage of the justice system. However, will there be any potential factor which is not disclosed, such as the prosecution withholding exculpatory evidence or any criminal history of Barnhouse? In addition, in Gold's study, he pointed out the effect of tunnel vision, in which one irrelevant fact shifts focus of the case and is given priority to other evidence. The hair evidence in this case demonstrated the effect of tunnel vision and also proved this effect can lead to wrongful convictions. Barnhouse was released on March 8, 2017 because of invalid result of the DNA and hair evidence. According to the case, the justice system should be trained to know the quality of evidence and expert witness prior to judging on the suspect and evidence. Also, the management and standard procedures of evidence have to be properly conducted to ensure the quality. Barnhouse's case can be taken as a warning in order to prevent any similar unethical behavior happening again. This is the end of the speech. Thank you for listening.